Yo, what's up, everyone? Uh, I guess this is our, for context, our first recording with sunlight amongst us. The football gods needed to find means and ways to reach you amidst this load shedding struggle that we're in. Hey, we just miss you guys too
Mm.
much. I've got my guys here. Dogo, Kamza, how you guys?
Nah, man, we good. When yourself?
I'm good. I'm good in yourself, man.
Yeah, surviving, man. As long as I'm still able to catch the football, man, this load shedding can't keep me down.
Mm.
Yeah. For
Tottenham
those.
Hotspur, it's all your fault. You're taking all our money as a country.
Hey, Man United are even trying to, you know,
You guys are twerking
help
for 1 billion also.
helping the country, guys. We have to
You
do
guys
our
are
part. If you want
you
to
guys
waste
are trying
money,
us.
waste it on a winning brand, eh?
You're
Guaranteed.
trying us.
But
Guaranteed.
as it stands, SA tourism is 1, South Africa 0.
Facts.
Basically, basically losing in more ways than one. Yeah, what a weekend, what a week as well. How the week started. There's a lot to cover, I guess, today. But let's press rewind and yeah, let's just go into how the weekend kicked off. The post Lampard era with the gingerbread man making his return to the English Premier League.
DMX, the white
Yeah,
DMX.
yeah. Some guys were knocked off the perch a bit, but I guess Sunday's result helped them. But we'll get into that one. But yo, what a result for Everton. Hey, your thoughts, Ntogo?
Yeah, first I want to say, like, Lampard, I called it when they're still playing West Ham that there's no chance that he was ever going to. I'm surprised to survive that long. And I'm sure the Everton shareholders are even regretting not letting go of him sooner. Because I mean, it's only one game from Sean Dyche, but you can already see, like, you can already see the structure. Like, I hear new manager bounce, what, and that is always a factor. But like you can already see a structure, you can already see he knows with the players that he's got how to execute a game plan, and that's the difference between like a wannabe and an actual manager, right? So I mean, obviously from an Arsenal point of view, I was very upset. I wasn't happy with the way that we played. Um, in as much as Everton executed a game plan, I still think we didn't do or we didn't show enough as far as um, varying our play, because I think at halftime we're very lucky to go in at 0-0. And that should have been a wake-up call. I would expect Arteta at halftime break to be like, yo, guys, we are lucky that it's still 0-0. Because of this, I'm going to change this and that and that and that. And then hopefully we try something because our game plan didn't work at all. So I would have just expected like just something different. And that's just a worrying sign, like it's kind of reminiscent of Pep. He just sticks to his guns. And I mean, when that works out, I mean, you get all of the glory. But when it doesn't work out, I think you should also get some criticism, right? So I mean, I'm not here to speak bad about Arteta or the players because I still think we still overperforming as a team. We're still much better than anyone expected us to be. And obviously also with the context of Man City dropping points, it's not a big deal that we lost, but yeah, I think it's just a worrying sign that, we need to have a plan B, so to speak.
Well, great point. And Kamza, is there finally a chink in
Ah,
Arsenal so to armor?
nah, man. Dogo said a lot, right? But I think he's overreacting like many other Arsenal fans. When you're in the title race, you are bound to lose games. And you are bound to lose games like versus teams, oppositions like Everton. It just happens. That's just the nature. And you need to lose those games to remind you that, I don't take any opposition for granted. But in the same light, I agree with Ndogozo. I did not see a change in tactics in the second half, and that is definitely a worrying sign. But however, when he wins, he gets all the glory. And you know what? If it means he has to stick to his strategy, if losing 4 games out of 38 games is what the strategy produces, then I'm happy with that. I'm not going to be mad at losing at Everton.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, it's great to apply context, right, as to no one expected Arsenal to be, the front runners. And this league is a very strange one. I don't know, we've mentioned it, that it's actually the most ideal, time for Arsenal to actually go for it, because clearly, like, no other team is as consistent, and it's shocking that the standards for the league have been so high that the last few winners couldn't afford to drop even points. You needed to be able to win like 10 games in a row. That was the standard. Like, you can't go 5 games in a row then lose. That's a standard that has been set, and it's Arsenal are fortunate that they don't have any other consistent team chasing them. And look at Liverpool. We can go into that next. How different 12 months and one player leaving can make to a team. I'm so shocked as to how bad they've been, and like, to Wolves, who have not scored more than 1 goal in any of their Premier League matches, scoring 3 goals against a Liverpool team. Surely,
Easy
something's
start.
got to give. Something's got to give now. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if Klopp gets given a chance to rebuild. Seems like he doesn't maybe seem to want to change his style of play to suit the players that he has. But I'm just interested to hear your thoughts, guys, as to if you have to distill Liverpool's, turmoil at the moment.
I've always said it, that he was suffering from injuries and he doesn't have the right players for the style of play and the whole money situation. I've always said that. But I want to say something. I think a lot of football supporters, fans, and to a certain extent, certain people that manage these clubs, they underrate the concept of age. I think previously in football, a player around the ages of 28 to 30, they call such players like mature players, your experienced players, you at the peak of your career. I think that has shifted. I think the peak now of this modern age footballers is around 23, 25. Once you're on that 28 until 35, it's a decline. It's not the same as in previous years. And I think as football fans, we need to start viewing football in that view. Uguti, when a player is 18, my boy, that player is not a kid anymore. That player is ready for the first team. And when that player hits 21 and they don't show any signs of growth, then that player will never be a superstar. Superstar stardom is reached at 23. This is just how it is in this new modern football. So with that being said, he's got players that are on 30, under 30, but they've passed that 27 age gap or whatever we want to call it. And you can see it. These players play more than 50 games in one season. It takes a toll on players. On top of that, if you're a top player, you play in international level, right? Coupled with that, you're first team player at Liverpool, first team in Champions League, first team in FA Cup, EFL, Club World Cup if you've won the Champions League previously. And then you also have to play for your own country in UEFA Nations League, if not Euros, if not World Cup. That's a lot of games. So for someone who's 28 playing that many games, you're going to suffer. And that's what's unfortunately. And I don't want to say his inability to refresh a team. Has he been given funds? No, because in January he asked for money and Liverpool said no. So do you see? that they can't even fire him because he's going to be like, guys, I asked for resources, but you never gave me. So I'm working with what I have, but it's not working out. So at come end of the season, they can't fire the dude. If they do, they're stupid.
Yeah, that's a great point that you've made, eh? Like actually, I didn't think of it that way. That basically the players are there's some refreshing that's needed, and I guess if you are a star player, you do get you're tired. You know, there needs to be a point where you are out of the firing line, and the new players get blooded in.
Can I chime in there?
Yeah,
Actually, sorry, on that point. I think it's just a sign of the times, right? And I think we're seeing, because I mean, the way I like to view it is football for the last 5 years or so, and now it's very athletic based, right? And tactical and all of those things. So I think we're just seeing now the shortcomings of that philosophy, shall we say? Because as Kamza mentioned, it's beyond it being physically demanding on the players, like beyond it's also I think to a degree mentally exhausting, and it also makes you, at least from an opposition POV, it makes you predictable at some point, right? So I think that's why some of these, I'm not going to say capitulation because that's a bit of a dramatic word, but some of the declines, I guess, we see, for example, with Liverpool and even with Pep. I mean, it's not as dramatic, but you can see that the standard is dropping. So I think it's equally attributed to the opposition just figuring them out, that like, okay, this is how these guys play, kind of thing. Whereas back 10, 15 years ago, where like you put a player on the wing, there's no, I don't want to say there's no tactics as far as how the team is going to play, but players had a bit more freedom. So they had a bit more variety in the play. Like it was very hard to predict your Ronaldinhos and your Ribery's even, kind of thing. So like I think, like I said, I mean, everything's got its pros and cons. Obviously, we've seen some of the pros of this kind of philosophy in football. So I think we're just seeing now that it is a very like a short term kind of thing, where it's like, okay, you play this. And this is probably also why Pep has been pretty smart with not staying in the country for more than 3 seasons. Because I think at some point they would have figured him out at Barcelona, they would have figured him out at Bayern Munich. So this is the first team where Pep has been more than 3 years. And like now, like I said, I mean, it's not as dramatic. He's still in second place. He's still in the title race, right? But like you're seeing that, I mean, City are not as dominant as they used to be. Yes, they still keep the ball longer than everyone else, but like it's not like constant pressure. Like, yo, these guys are going crazy kind of thing. When they keep the ball, I mean, Haaland, and sorry, I know we're not speaking about this game yet. Haaland didn't have a touch in the opposition box. Haaland didn't have a shot on target the whole game. This is someone who scored 25 goals in 19 games or whatever case may be, So yeah, I think, like I say, it's just a sign of the times that your players are like robots, and once you just figure out a way, like they're easy to stop to a degree, So yeah, I don't know, like history will always like repeat itself. I don't know if that will now cause us to go back to a more unpredictable kind of style of football. I don't know. Time will tell. But yeah, I think it's something we're going to see more and more of over the next couple of years.
It's a good
Yeah,
point.
and like you said, sorry, yeah, and like you said in Togo, history repeats itself. It's a matter of time. This type of football resets itself, man. The Ronaldo and Messi era is done. Yes, I appreciate stats, but I cannot base my football knowledge purely on stats. We need that combination of stats, creative freedom, we need that. And that's what made football amazing. And that's what made Brazil amazing. That's what made most Africans amazing. This athleticism football is not getting anyone anywhere. And it's a matter of time that other people start seeing it. I mean, sorry for going off a tangent. Does it really make sense that Neymar has not won the Ballon d'Or? Honestly, guys. Like, that is crazy. Let's be
honestly,
honest.
that's the most talented player I've ever seen in my life, right? And this is alongside your Ronaldinho's, your Thierry Henry's, your all the greats, right? But Neymar, as far as like pure footballing ability, is the most talented player I've seen. And for me to say that about a player and he's never won a Ballon d'Or is wild to me.
It's crazy. And remember, like in the past, like when you actually we evaluated like Ballon d'Or winners, it was like the best player. It was not necessarily what they've won, how many goals they've scored. Like everyone was unanimous in agreement that like Ronaldo is the best player in the world. And then he win the Ballon d'Or. It didn't matter. I mean, Ronaldo didn't win the Champions League for starters. He's never won it. But he's won the Ballon d'Or. He's won the Ballon d'Or like 3 times or whatever. Zidane, twice, yeah. When Zidane won the Ballon d'Or, it was actually in a year where he didn't win the World Cup. It was in like a year where he, so it's always been that way that like, the best player at that time, like right now, we can all agree that based on what we are seeing, like Mbappe is the best player based on all things considered, like form, delivery.
Yeah.
But of course, he's not going to win it because you're going to have to look at stats. Like Messi, you can't say Messi's going to deserve, because he won the World Cup, I agree, but the entire season he's not performed to a point where you can say that he's the best player at the time. So I think I'm loving this development that's happening in football, whereby even you can see with Napoli don't have like you can't say they pay passing. This self-expression, that's the football that I want to see more of, whereby it's now this team just plays to win. There's no tactics, because like you say, the way things are sort of automated now. You can coach. Look at Brighton. Brighton play like City.
Prime example.
And you can't say Brighton have the best players. They're just well coached, they're well coached. So it just shows you that, like, if you are a team, now you have to start moving beyond styles of plays. I hate this conversation of style of play. Like, use the players that you have at the time. If they're not winning with the players you have, it can't be saying that, hey, I don't have players that can play my style of play. Use your players, to actually deliver on what you've got. And, if we move to the City match, I think you Arsenal fans were hoping for that result. But I think no one expected that result after what we know of Spurs nowadays.
Yeah.
But let's start with you, Kamza. What are your thoughts? And just to add on to the result, like the direction of City, what do you think is happening? What's at play at the moment?
I heard you say we didn't expect that from Spurs. I actually did expect that from Spurs, because Spurs loves beating Man City. I know in the past 2 games, Man City has beaten them, but if you look at the history, Spurs always beats Man City. Harry Kane always scores. I don't know, like he has this dying feeling or edge or whatever to score against Pep. But with that being said, it brings me back to, I know I used to argue why Harry Kane wants to sign a new contract with Spurs, blah, blah, blah. But now I think I understand why he has to sign a contract, or he signed, I don't know which of the two. He's going to be a legend, bro. And Spurs does not have many legends. So he's going to be the main legend, and for the longest time. And that statue is definitely going to be built. And I think that's a bigger legacy than winning a Ballon d'Or. I'm so sorry. But having a statue, my man, not even the greatest politicians have statues, or the greatest scientists have statues, but so to get it as a soccer player, someone who didn't even innovate something new. My man. Yeah. It's the biggest
Immortality,
accomplishment.
bro.
The legacy,
It's the
though.
biggest accomplishment.
Like
And on
he
top
can,
of that, it's not like he's underpaid, guys. Harry Kane gets 200K and over. So you are also well paid. You know, what I mean, we've had this conversation. What's the difference between someone who has 10 billion and someone who has 5 billion? Nothing. If he goes to Real Madrid, they're going to pay him 400,000 a week, 100% more, but it doesn't change his lifestyle. It doesn't. So for me, it makes more sense for him to stay at Spurs, actually. You are the captain. You have a creative role. Not many players in this modern age have a creative role, especially in an EPL team. Yeah, but what more do you want? And you'll always be at the top, bro.
And football, they say, is about trophies. That's the argument they always say, eh? But I guess
some of the worst players in the world have trophies.
Exactly.
Some of the worst players have won World Cups, have won Champions Leagues. I really don't care about that kind of stuff.
Exactly. Like look at Totti, like AS Totti. That guy will always be. If you would have in his prime, he could have gone to Madrid. But like you guys say, his future generation, they can always go and walk to that stadium. Like, oh, granddad was Harry Kane. You know, that's I don't think he would have this much prominence in any other team. Like he'll never be the star player. I think that's why I understand why Gerrard never left Liverpool as well. Like it could have been easy for him, but just being a legend and being like sort of like revered in a team. Like not a lot of players like get that you'll always be loved, like regardless of your form, just because of who you are to a team. You don't get it anyway.
But anyway, to go back to the game, obviously I'm happy with the result, obviously. But I also have this worrying feeling about this Man City team. Nothing seems to be ticking. There's a lot of rumors that players are unhappy. So first, João Cancelo leaves abruptly. Firstly, how do you let go of João Cancelo, the best left back, arguably the best left back in the world, not even in Premier League, in the world? You just let him go in January. For me, that shows the arrogance this man has, Pep. But with that being said, we've also seen Pep let go of a Ronaldinho at his peak, let go of a Samuel Eto'o at his peak. And he won a treble afterwards. So, hey, who am I to judge him, right? But honestly, João Cancelo leaves. Now I'm hearing that Laporte doesn't want to sign a new contract. Ruben also wants to leave. Bernardo Silva wants a reunion with Mbappe at PSG. So Sterling
it's
left
crumbling.
because of game.
It's
Sterling left.
Right?
Sterling left because of game time. Gabriel Jesus left because of freedom. Zinchenko left because of creative freedom and playing time. And then now there's financial fair play. What's going on?
The fortunate thing is that Man City doesn't have fans, so like none will care, right? But like, like it's rough, like it's ugly. Like I wish I had like a Man City friend that I'd be like, yeah. Actually, like there's like two acquaintances I have who like are Man City fans, and I don't take them seriously because I'm like, no real football fan supports Man City, right? But like. I'm not gonna say I enjoy seeing them crumble because, like I said, I really don't care about City, but they're like they need to be punished. Like a standard needs to be set. The one I will enjoy, Chelsea. Huh. See, that's one I'm waiting for. That EA, who does this thing? FA, please hurry up, finish with Man City, charge them, and get to Chelsea because you see that one. I want us to have a 2-hour show for that one. The Chelsea one. I will speak about that one. I will enjoy that one. I'll have all the facts about that one because those are the guys who I actually have, like people I know who I would love to rub it in their face when that one happens. But
but regardless of that, I think Man City will still give it a shot. Unfortunately, their best player, KDB, is also offbeat. I haven't seen him offbeat in such a long time. but possibly he's carrying this form from the World Cup because he was horrible according to his standards at the World Cup with Belgium. And I'm seeing the same KDB. And it's so sad that Haaland took his time to evaluate offers and he thought Man City was the best option at that point in time. And now to see him in this situation, it's so unfortunate. He deserves a better team.
Oh, it's so weird to say that someone that has 25 goals in 20 games is having a bad time. It sounds so strange to, well, it's like, for me, honestly, like, as impressive as his numbers and stats have been, I can't say I've been overly impressed by the Haaland I'm seeing at City. Something like whenever I watch a City match, I always see his runs that he makes. I'm like, yo, this guy could be scoring so many more goals in this league because this league has fast paced, I guess you play with momentum, and he's a guy that's so smart into the box. Even the goals that he scores for City, like most of them are like tap ins because City will pass you to death. But it's shocking that like we say that about Haaland, and it's also sad that his football may also suffer because if you don't, he's gonna start now having to adapt himself, right? So he may lose some of that instinct of like being a killer in a box. So yeah, I'm glad that he has like a clause after 2 seasons that he has a fixed price to leave City. So at least we may still see the best of his football. But yeah, it's a weird conundrum with Haaland that he's just in the middle of City declining, but he's still performing so well. So
Yeah, but
interesting.
financial fair play needs to be quick, eh? They need to tell City to sell 6 first-team players. And me, I'm ready to buy Haaland and Alvarez. I'll buy both of them. I'm ready.
Yeah, you
That's
guys, Arsenal has a better chance. There's a better chance of
until
signing.
Todd Bowley pays $500 million. You know that guy. I hate that guy.
Oh, talking about Chelsea, did you see your boy Mudryk having a horrible time?
Shit game. Dude,
How
I'm
do they
also
substitute
I'm also
in
ready to
45
become Modric's biggest hater. Like I'm going to enjoy every bad game he has. Like you don't understand. I'm Chelsea's #1 hater in life. So I'm going to celebrate every bad game Modric has because he deserves
Bro,
it.
how are you drawing with Fulham with like you spent what over $500 million, right? They spent over £500 million, and you are drawing against if Fulham that spent probably 30 million the whole year.
But Fulham are well coached. Remember,
Fulham are good.
True.
they're well
True.
coached. But with Chelsea guys, to be honest, I've seen 3 guys that I'm okay. 4 of these many signings that I'm like, if this guy builds around them, Chelsea might come next season. Felix, that Badiashile guy, Enzo Fernandez, and that Fofana striker. Those guys, and that Murieke actually. Those guys look promising, but obviously, it's not a team. It's individual brilliance at this point.
Yeah, but I must admit, I did see some nice movement and touches from Enzo.
Yeah.
Enzo seems like a good player. I don't know if it's worth 100 mil or whatever they pay, but he's a good player. You can tell. But however, maybe it's just first game. You know how everyone is. Ask Mudryk, first game.
Hey,
Who are they playing next? I'm curious. Chelsea.
Actually, I'm not sure. Ngulego?
Check.
let me quickly check. But yeah, what do you guys think of unbiased view? They're playing West Ham next, but what do you guys think of Chelsea's prospects? Do you see them, having a dash at the end into the top 4, or just more turmoil?
No.
No chance.
No top 4.
Yeah.
No top four.
I think this top four stays as it is. The top four as it is. We can maybe discuss the order, but I think I think Newcastle will make it. Only because Liverpool and Chelsea are a bit shit right now. But I think
You
it'll
don't
stay
think?
as it is. The win.
Yeah, yeah. Newcastle are solid guys, yo. And
Yeah.
I was shocked that they last conceded a goal in November. So the first
These
Yep.
goal
guys have
that
only
they
lost one game. They've lost one game the whole season so far. Only conceded 12 goals in like 22 games or something like that.
Yeah,
show.
that is crazy.
They are
And
hard
they
That is
to
actually
beat.
and to be honest, they actually haven't like splurged on like based on their financial muscle. They actually haven't
mm.
splurged. They just got a good coach.
Eddie Howe's
Bro,
doing amazing.
I've been saying Eddie Howe's a good coach from Bournemouth. And people thought I'm crazy. Bro,
Mm,
that guy is a good coach.
mm.
Sure.
Because when you think about and I think we mean it in the truest sense of the word because he's not playing the same way that he played at thingy Bournemouth,
Yeah.
right? So like he's showing that he can adapt as we said earlier to his players. So it's like, yeah, okay, these are the type of players I have. This is the way I'm going to play to get the best out of the players. So he's not trying to build a Bournemouth
Mm.
2.0. He's building a new team, a new style, so to speak. So that's, I think, is a hallmark of a very, very good coach. So I just hope when he does go through a little bit of a dip, so he'll get top four. And then, when you start now getting more games because you're in Europe, they're definitely going to struggle. There's going to be a dip. I hope
Mm.
management is patient with them and they trust them even when they're going through a bad spell. This guy achieved miracles for us
Mm.
last season.
Yeah,
Let's at
that's
least
true.
return the favor and let's just stick with him because I think in a few years, I mean, I don't think he'll win the title, but I think he can make Newcastle definitely like a solid top six team. Because as soon
Yeah,
as
Mm.
Kane leaves Spurs, also, I'm not sure if Spurs will be in that top six conversation. We'll
Mm.
see how
And
that goes.
then
But yeah.
that's true.
we spoke about Frank leaving, but we never spoke about Marsh leaving, getting sacked.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's a. What do you guys think? Is it harsh?
Yeah,
Uh,
that was a
he
surprise
hasn't
for me.
won a game in the last seven played. And it's like I think half of those, if not more, have been teams around him. So I think you have to, well, not have to, but that's always a telling sign. But it's always weird to me. You just bought players for him, you've spent, and then now,
Zach.
and like he bought all these American guys. So
Americans.
he bought his homies who I'm sure also joined because okay, there's another American guy there. Let me think. So from that point of view, I don't think it was a smart decision, but also considering the run of results, I understand why they sacked him.
Mhm.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So it's a shocker for me. Like, why bring in the players then if you know you're gonna sack him?
Mm.
Yeah, it's questionable what they've done, but hey, so when you in a Premier League is like, yeah, there's fine margins, but that financial muscle, you don't wanna leave it to chance. But let's maybe do a quick fire on the upcoming matches. I'll pick up the big clashes. West Ham, Chelsea, Togo, who's taking it?
1-1 draw.
Kamza.
2-2 draw.
Yeah, it's a draw. It's for me too. Like it screams a draw, like
Mm.
scoring draw. Oh, and your old nemesis, Brentford, Arsenal at home.
We
Arsenal's
are
It's
at
we,
home.
gonna
Arsenal is at
we
go
are
home.
ahead. Sorry,
we are
Kamza.
whipping them. We are whipping them 3-0.
Oh, wow. Okay, wounded lion, huh?
Brentford has
Togo?
been decent. They've been decent the last few games. Kana is Tony there? That's what is the threat
No.
there. No, he's not.
Hmm.
I think we'll still be a bit nervous, but do think will win. I think 1-0 for Arsenal.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'd go with Kamza 3 now. Oh, and I think this match is gonna be interesting. Crystal Palace versus Brighton. Wow.
Yeah, I need to watch that game.
Hey, but Brighton
Wow.
is good, guys. Eh?
Yeah.
Yo,
I think Crystal
I'm
Palace
saying,
win 2-1.
I think a narrow win for Brighton 1-0.
I also think Brighton win. I think
We need to
Brighton win
discuss
1. Yeah, 2-1.
Mitoma one time, but yeah,
Mm.
other guy. Okay, and then no relegation battle: Wolves versus Southampton. Oh, that coach just killed me. I've never seen such a post-match interview because literally blaming himself. He says not, doing those existential things. I've not been myself. I've been had to be much better than what I'm delivering now. I've failed the team. I've failed the players. My teams are about personality. I've always been out playing other teams with a shoestring budget. I've never had, I'm like, dude, you asking to be sacked, eh? It's like
I
saying
didn't
like
see that.
you like say it's like saying you've been hired, to do a job. It's like saying you hired someone who's a CA and it's I don't have a CA qualification. I lied. Then you're gonna fire him. But anyway, what do you guys think that result? Comes up quick.
Wolves win because coming from a 3-0 win,
Definitely.
this Liverpool, they definitely want to win. I'll say 1-0.
Yeah, Wolves win 2-0 for me.
No way, this coach sold me with his impassioned plea. I think Southampton win 2-0. You're gonna see a new day. Yeah. But gents,
Those
the
all the
big
games.
yeah, the
I
big
feel like you
ticket
didn't say
ones.
City, no Spurs.
No big
No,
ticket
United.
games. Big
Oh,
ticket
okay.
games are the rest All
Okay.
right.
Nah.
Let's have a good one. Been good chatting.
Thanks,
Thanks, guys.
gentlemen. Cheers.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.